Hi, I'm Margaret Lynch, best-selling author and trainer, and I show people from many different professional backgrounds how to get amazing results for people and get paid well as a transformational coach. In this video, I'm going to show you my proven step-by-step action plan of powerful session work to help people get the kind of real and measurable results that they will love and thank you for, and that will build you a solid income very quickly. Yes! Getting paid well to do work that is incredibly fulfilling, work that you will love. Today, I'm going to show you my step-by-step process so you know exactly how to run client sessions so that your client is wowed with aha moments every single session and you continue to get results that keep them coming back for more. With this method, you'll always know what to do next and how to facilitate true, lasting transformation in every session, which lets you support yourself easily with a reliable and consistent income. Now, if you're already a coach or a healer and have ever struggled to get enough clients, well, those days are over. And if you're not a coach yet, even if it seems hard to imagine now, I promise I am going to show you that it is possible and who you can become when you use this carefully designed approach to coaching. Because through this step-by-step action plan, you'll actually get the confidence, the clarity, and the presence that you need to facilitate with a whole new level of mastery. With these proven skills, you're going to feel like you have X-ray vision because you will have the ability to identify and interpret and reveal the hidden patterns that block your clients. This will allow you to facilitate true transformation and healing and inspire your clients to action, to reach bigger dreams and goals, and show them what's really possible beyond their fears and limiting beliefs. Now, this might sound like I'm going to give you superpowers, and to the 100 of coaches I train, they actually feel like they have superpowers. But I assure you, they are skills, and this is a model that you can learn, and it's actually way easier than you might think.
I think my level of confidence, the level of clarity, the ability to communicate with very clear distinction and diagnose where somebody's at has incredible power.
Whatever comes up, I can handle the stuff that comes up. So there's no doubt in my mind that whatever they say, whatever they're going through, I will always have the resources to actually help them.
The processes that Margaret's developed are just incredible, and it's given me a lot of confidence of I can actually take someone that maybe doesn't even know what they need to work on, and I can discover that, and I can take them down a clear journey from point A to point B, and they're going to have tremendous transformation from that.
I want to tell you that yes, you can step into being the more powerful, joyful, thriving, and fulfilled version of you. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. You can learn it, and it can actually happen in a matter of months. Especially because in this approach, you clear your own blocks first. So in this video, I'm also going to detail for you the top 6 money blocks you should focus on clearing, and that's a lot. So we really need to jump in. In previous videos, I showed you how to avoid the danger zones and the struggles that come with helping and hoping. And I introduced you to the infinitely more effective results and commitment model, which is what all the confident and successful coaches and practitioners that I know actually use. You've seen how the results and commitment model is actually very different, and it's a tremendous opportunity for you to transition into more fulfilling work, doing not only what you want to be doing, but what you were meant to be doing, making a real difference. So, literally, thousands of you have left your comments and your questions, and you shared some of your big aha moments about using the help and hope model without realizing it. And many of you agreed with me, it's just not working for you, just like it didn't work for me. And yes, there is a better way. And, I loved reading how deeply you feel called to help others, to bring healing and success and transformation to others in all different fields, and to start really living your dream life. So, thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for all of your words. It's been truly amazing, and I'm just so grateful that I've been able to help you on this journey. Now, In the last video, I shared a simple technique from my model, a script that you can use immediately to start captivating people from the start and get the right kind of people to come to you on their own, asking to know more about what you do, which means you never have to deal with confidence-eroding skeptics ever again. Then I shared a simple and powerful process to use with the people who approach you and want to know more. And under 3 minutes, it will bring them to a compelling aha moment, which is to get the right people to ask you for help. This way, you never have to waste your energy trying to convince or sell or push anything. Because as we learned in the last video, confident and thriving helpers never sell, we compel. And that exercise is a great example of adding a process to your modality that allows you to get deeper results and sets you up for doing longer work. So if you haven't already seen those 2 videos, I highly recommend you go watch them now, because you'll learn everything you need to know about how to compel people before I show you the right way and the fastest path to having clients eagerly sign up to work with you and then continue to work with you longer term. So let's get started. Today we're going to discover exactly what it looks like for you to earn a fantastic income transforming other people's lives. You will see, 1, how to do the real session work, how to continually guide people into deeper, results-based transformational work, session by session, that will amaze them, and they will naturally commit to becoming ongoing paid clients that work with you longer. And secondly, you'll learn how to make a real consistent income working with these clients so that you can finally live the life you've always dreamed of. Just like me and the hundreds of coaches and therapists and practitioners and professionals from literally every background who've been my students have done, you too can become confident and fulfilled, bringing real, measurable results for your clients and enjoying your freedom for yourself at the same time, both personally and professionally. And the best part is not only will you be building a real and stable practice with consistent income, but at the same time, your schedule will be more streamlined and predictable and easier to manage, because your clients will be so happy and blown away by your work with them that they'll commit and they'll want to continue working with you so they can keep getting amazing results. But, of course, reality check. This isn't going to happen magically. It's not going to just manifest because you want it so badly or because it's your dream. You have to make it happen. And in order to make it happen, you need a proven step-by-step action plan to follow. That's the only way to ensure that you'll always know what to do next and be totally confident that both you and your clients get real results. Now, without this, you can go down a lot of blind alleys that can slow you down, that can delay your success, that can cause you to doubt yourself, just like I did. And even with the best of intentions, and even with some really good training, without clear direction and guidance, many coaches have ended up in the danger zone of using the default model, helping first, hoping it's going to work, and they're never quite sure about what to do next to keep the client engaged. Now, it kills me when I hear from people who want this with all of their heart, but I've been doing it the slow way, the income delaying way. And they say to me, Margaret, clients do a few sessions and then that's it. Or they say to me the most common and most revealing thing of all, which is, I don't have enough clients because I don't know how to put myself out there. I don't know how to market myself. And this really came through in so many of your comments. And this is where things happen, like the chaotic schedule and the sleepless nights worrying about where the money is going to come from. And to be honest, this is where I've seen incredibly smart, talented, heart-centered healers and coaches who've actually done a lot of training in their modalities end up with painful doubts in their head, wondering what they're doing wrong. And it's all just because they've been missing something critical, even with all the training or certifications they have. They are missing the model that confident, thriving coaches use to both compel clients to sign up and work with them longer, and to also get bigger results inside of the work together. And when someone says to me they're worried about marketing or they don't know how to market themselves, it's a sure sign to me that this critical piece is missing from the model that they're using.
I knew I needed help. Obviously, they were not getting the value that I could provide to them. That taught me languaging to stop speaking from my modality and instead speak to the pain points and problems of people and how to solve them, so that my clients are now curious and drawn to me and want to work with me.
I now am turning away clients, and I get to only accept clients that feel like a really good fit for both of us, which just makes my work so joyful and satisfying for me.
The only way people found out about me was word of mouth, and I didn't have much business. And before, I didn't have a proven pathway. I did one session, I knew I helped him, but I didn't know where to take him next. And I never reached out and said, do you want to do another appointment? And all that has completely changed, because now I do packages and I know exactly what to offer. With the modules that we're learning, there is a proven pathway. So when I do the clarity sessions, I have the list of modules, and I'm listening to my potential client, and I check mark off the ones where they need to do some clearing. So at the end of a clarity session, I know exactly where their blocks are. So when I make an offer, I am in integrity in saying, these are the hurdles that you need to overcome. And I never had this before because I didn't have a proven process. I didn't know what hurdles there even were. And now I know what to look for. And it just makes it super easy. It's so much more fun, and it's a lot more money too.
Well, you're about to learn the model that has nothing missing, a model that I developed to ensure that your important dream of living a life purpose, helping others, really happens, and that you get paid well for doing that world-changing work. And I'm about to show you exactly how it's done. This is something I rarely share publicly. It's the step-by-step action plan of a complete model that's taking me years to develop and perfect, and I'm including the fuller process of session work that will set you up for continued amazing results and longer-term work with clients. The only people who've had access to this process are the students of my Tapping into Wealth Coach training program, and I've used this program to teach hundreds of coaches and therapists and healing practitioners and other people from all different walks of life, even engineers like me, how to overcome their money blocks and quickly build a thriving practice of their own using all the best tools and methods I've developed over years of working with thousands of people. And there's a reason that I've chosen to share some of my best stuff with you today. It's because I believe there's something very wrong happening in the help industry, a big missing piece of information, and it pains me to admit that I've been part of the problem too. The thing is, when you learn even a powerful modality, or you get certified or trained in coaching or healing, it can be misleading because you think you have everything you need. You may have even been told that you have everything you need. This is actually the modality myth, the belief that the modality is all that you need, that it's all in the modality, that you just need more and more training and certification in a modality, and that will give you everything you need to somehow single-handedly bring droves of clients to your door clamoring to get your help, and that'll single-handedly bring you the ability to do such amazing work with people that they will pay you and they will celebrate you and they'll refer people to you and work with you for years. But you know, there's something missing. There's a big missing piece, a gap, and it shows up in the underlying problem in all 3 stages of being a helper or a coach that I reviewed in the first video. It's in all of the danger zones. The modality myth glosses over this huge missing piece of information so you don't see it clearly, and it can really cripple your ability to have real success and results and income as a healer, practitioner, or coach, and it's not your fault because you don't know what you don't know, and when you don't get amazing results and clients lining up, of course it's hard to feel confident. So I want you to be just so clear about this so that you can avoid these pitfalls, these danger zones, because it is a myth. No single modality will give you the power to get far-reaching results or have droves of clients magically appear dying to work with you and then continue to work with you. No simple single modality can do that. The secret that thriving coaches learn, the modality is a piece. this is the big secret. You need more than that. You need a model of coaching that first brings in clients and then brings in the real results that keeps clients committed. And in my teaching, that is all built into the results and commitment model, and this is the missing piece. So what I do that's so different from what's out there is this. I use the modality in the way it's meant to use inside of a process where it will shine. A complete process of coaching that includes the modality, but it's designed to ensure bigger, longer-term results than you could ever get by just focusing on the modality alone. So, for example, instead of creating confusion when we talk about our modality with new people, we attract clients by focusing on the big picture. We strategically captivate and compel them to sign up by speaking their language. So, can you see how this missing piece, this gap in the model, could set you up for unnecessary challenges and delay your income? And the worst part is that coaches will blame themselves and think they're a failure, just like I did. So whether it's hypnosis or Reiki or EFT or law of attraction, you name it, every teacher, author, and self-help guru out there is focused on their modality. And the worst part, I've been guilty of it too. I'm famous for my best-selling book, Tapping into Wealth. And what's the title about? Tapping. My favorite modality. You know, I wrote this book because I'm on a mission to change at least 1 million lives for the better. And the best way I knew how to do that, to help as many people as I could, was to transform their lives and empower them to go out and help even more people. So I've been successfully teaching my entire model to my Tapping into Wealth students. But with everybody else, I only talked about the modality of tapping, kind of leaving everybody else with the same modality myth. But this has got to change right now because you're here and you're wanting to know how to live your dream of truly transforming people and how to become a confident and powerful coach or healer who actually has income from happy paying clients. And you know what? Your dream is important, and it's important to me because for years I shared that dream while taking the long, slow path. And you know, don't get me wrong. I love different modalities and approaches. Having a modality that is proven to bring immediate, measurable results is so critical. This is why I rely on the modality of tapping. And the reason it works so well is because I actually use it as part of a whole complete transformational process. I use the tapping as the tool, as part of the journey that takes my clients from where they are now to where they want to be, and then to places like they could have never even dreamed were possible. And longer-term work is the only way to really help your clients transform their lives and go to places that they only dreamed about. So the secret of thriving, confident coaches and practitioners really lies in the step-by-step processes that we use inside of the sessions to give our clients clarity before introducing our modality. This allows us to go deeper and deeper into the layers of their issues and get them the kind of results that keeps them committed session by session. Would you like to know how it's done? Because I'm about to show you a step-by-step action plan I call the Tapping into Wealth Coaching Method. It's what allows my certified coaches, like the ones you've seen in my case studies, to earn upwards of 6 figures while bringing massive changes for their clients. And while it's super important to choose the right modality, more on that later, you can actually use this method with any modality that really works. So get ready to take notes because this approach to session work is nothing short of amazing and it's proven to get results. And once again, I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. So I'll tell you how to get both the download and the worksheet at the end of the video so you'll have everything you need. So first, no matter what modality or approach you're using, once they sign up, you'll have to keep your clients 100% clear on the value and the results they're getting session to session at all times, so they commit to working with you for longer. The real key is making every session, every exercise, every aha moment, and every goal they set out to achieve continue to bring the clarity that compels them to continue their work with you. Because, as you know, the only way to help them get real transformation, get measurable life-changing results, is to get them to commit to working with you for more than a few sessions. It's better for them, it's better for you, and it's the only way you're going to get them from where they are now to where they really want to be, which is, exactly what they deserve, and so do you. Because the more engaged your clients are, the more stable your income will be. And when your income is stable, you have more time, more money, more freedom to really make a difference in the world. So how do you do that? The Tapping into Wealth approach to session work has 4 steps and 2 phases. It's designed to get your clients engaged so they commit for the long term. So phase 1 is clear the past. This is where the first 2 steps come in: uncover and diagnose, and clear the hidden blocks. Phase 2 is create the future. And steps 3 and 4 are here: unleash inner power and inspire and support. In phase 1, we'll start by uncovering an issue and diagnosing the hidden blocks that are at the roots of it. Now that's step 1, and it might sound familiar because we went through an example of this when we did the Gift of Clarity exercise in the last video. In step 2, we'll clear the hidden blocks one by one so that after each one is cleared, we return to the step 1, and so that the client sees the results. They get the clarity on what to clear next, and they stay committed throughout the process. And only when an issue is fully cleared can your client step into the transformed version of themselves. And in phase 2, we're going to show them a way to create a new reality for themselves. Again, we're going to alternate between steps 3 and 4, except that instead of clearing bad blocks, we're going to introduce new helpful beliefs that will help them move forward. And because this journey requires long-term commitment, everybody wins. Plus, once they've gone through it the first time, the 2 of you together will absolutely discover other issues, maybe completely different areas of their life, that will allow you to use the same process again and again. So that's the big picture view of the session work. Now we're going to dive deeper into the steps of just one of my processes, starting with where we left off on the Gift of Clarity exercise, which is the kind of diagnosis exercise we often use in step 1. But first, remember I said that missing critical steps leads to difficulty finding paying clients and delays your earning? Well, I'm not going to skip any steps. So first, I want to give you a huge tip, a key element that really acts as a catalyst to make the entire process possible, and it's a piece that almost everyone misses. Because, of course, before the session work I just described comes finding the clients. And here it is. You've already learned that it doesn't work to talk about your modality or the way that you help clients or give freebies. And I actually taught you the most effective formula of saying what you do to captivate the best clients for you. But the reality is, even with this effective formula, you have to be very strategic about the issues you choose to talk about solving, because that is the first level of problems that must draw in the most new clients. And to be clear, that first issue, it's only the entry point into the work, the entry point into bringing true transformation. But as far as getting the most new clients that are motivated to start working with you, it's critical that this issue be very, very strategic. So, you might think this should depend on the client or the deeper work that you want to do, but it shouldn't. Why? Because you become an expert in transformation. You become the expert. You understand the results. You are the one that knows how to diagnose. You are the one that knows how to clear the blocks. And you are the one that knows what's really possible for your future clients, right? But first of all, your future clients do not know what you know. They might not realize that true transformation is possible for them beyond some of their immediate struggles. And they usually have no idea that their immediate struggles can even be addressed and solved, never mind reach their dreams. And secondly, people adapt to living with a lot of hidden pain and stress and anxiety, and it shows up in many areas of their lives. But adapting to it means they're barely conscious of it, and they never really look at it too closely. Now, you can probably look back in times in your life when that's been true for you. All of us can. And you may have had a lot of things that were stopping you or causing you pain, but you weren't even looking for help or asking for help. So you need to make a very strategic decision to speak about solving glaring, obvious, and worrisome issues that resonate with a lot of people before you meet with potential clients. And there are 3 strategic criteria that should guide your decision on what to talk about solving. The first criteria will make it easy for you to find clients anywhere, even the grocery store, by using the Captivate from the Start script that we learned in the last video. So the first strategic criteria is this an issue that a lot of people have? Is it widespread? Is it common? If not, you're probably going to have a hard time finding clients, and I want you to have an abundance of clients. Now, the second criteria will ensure that the gift of clarity exercise I taught you will hit the bullseye every time. The issue must be painful and urgent for your potential clients. If the issue isn't painful enough, they won't be motivated to pay to fix it. It's kind of obvious, but often overlooked. And if it doesn't feel urgent, that means a potential client can afford to wait and fix the problem later, and that's exactly what they're likely to keep doing. And the third criteria, is it expensive? Is there a cost? Is there a real cost to having this issue? Is it costing them in terms of actual money or health or happiness? Because when the answer is yes, it gives you the opportunity to show people how much it has cost them in the past and how much it's going to cost them if they don't fix it. This is a huge differentiator in the Tapping into Wealth method. Most people adapt and they never look closely at the real cost of their issues, and they just keep going on in their lives. So when you shine this brand new light on the truth about how much an issue is really costing them, and someone suddenly sees it from this perspective and it resonates as truth for them, the issues that they need to fix will suddenly become a priority, more urgent, and they'll be kind of wowed by you. And as you know, and you will become an expert at seeing all surface issues that are painful and that are expensive, they're always the tip of the iceberg. Below the surface of whatever problems clients are manifesting, there are always hidden patterns of deeper, unconscious hidden blocks, which always reveal themselves like layers of an onion as you guide your clients through the session work. And this is exactly why in my Tapping into Wealth coaching program, I teach my students how to do incredibly deep, transformational work that includes a comprehensive process of clearing very specific money blocks. But we always start by talking about people's issues with money and wealth, specifically earning more, marketing themselves, doubting their value, confidence issues, confidence when they charge or ask for a raise, etc. So now, pay attention to how well this fits the criteria. When you can solve money problems for people by addressing their inner resistance and blocks to making more money, and then supporting them in their journey to create more wealth, you will always get a lot of attention and interest. You can use the Captivate from the Start script to get people to line up to talk to you pretty much anywhere, anytime. Because lack of money is the biggest, most universal source of pain and worry and frustration and anxiety in the middle class. The vast majority of the people in the middle class, especially those who are going into business for themselves, are living 1 or 2 paychecks away from disaster. And the truth is, they have been programmed their entire lives with specific blocks around money and wealth. So by helping them uncover the roots of their money issues, you immediately hit upon an expensive problem, a problem that gets more expensive the longer it continues, which also makes it urgent. And the best part is because of how expensive the issue is, your coaching quickly pays for itself. So what does all this mean for you? It means the opportunity to help a lot more clients, and that is a win-win for everybody. And you know, here's the bigger secret that you already know. Money is just a surface issue. It's the issue that people will literally run to pay you to solve. But as soon as you start working with them, they will quickly realize what you already know to be true. The work is about so much more. And as a matter of fact, the most common thing that coaches I train hear from their clients is, wow, this is so much bigger than money. And that's why the coaches I train always start with solving money issues, and that's why they have so many clients. And then they transition into deep, transformational healing work by starting there. And then, depending on their additional interest or their additional training as a coach or healer, they move into working with that same client on things like relationships or weight loss or marketing or public speaking, etc. So now that you know how to choose a winning issue to focus on to get lots of motivated clients anywhere, let's go back and see what it looks like to run through the transformational process of coaching step by step inside the sessions with the client. We'll start with phase 1, step 1, uncover and diagnose. The good news is that you already know how to get started because it's exactly what we did in the previous video. First, we used the Captivate from the Start script to attract the right kind of people. And now, if you remember, I actually made some pretty big promises since I chose to focus on the money issue. I said this: I show business owners struggling with not earning enough, marketing themselves boldly, and self-doubt how to earn more money, market themselves confidently and boldly, and feel more powerful. So, with that promise of earn more money, market yourself boldly, and feel more powerful, is the promise I'll need to be able to truly deliver on. And with the 4-step model, I can. Next, we did the gift of clarity exercise to compel them to ask for our help. And this began with the first step of phase 1, uncover and diagnose. This is where you uncover and bring clarity to the roots of the problem that they're experiencing, the pain it's causing, how much it's costing them and holding them back. And this is where you get to amaze people with aha moments that they can really grasp and they can really feel. And it's like they're suddenly awake to how urgent the problem it really is, and they take action and sign up as a client. Yay! But now the deeper work begins using what you learned in that exercise. In the last video, I showed you exactly how to do this gift of clarity exercise. So please pull out your handout that went along with the exercise, because that's where you captured the strong emotions that came up during the exercise. And this is what we're going to use to peel the layers of the onion. Because when people are aware that they have blocks around earning and marketing themselves and being confident, they usually also know that there are actions that they're taking or not taking, also known as procrastinating, and those can contribute to the problem, but they usually can't really explain it. So in this part of the gift of clarity exercise, you uncovered something deeper, the negative emotions that are literally blasting through their nervous system and really driving their actions. This big aha moment is the first layer. The next layer we captured in this handout is their unconscious programming and fear, which is revealed through how they imagined people's reactions when they raised their prices. Now, this is especially interesting layer because most people are completely unaware of this level, but you, as the coach, have now revealed it with sparkling clarity, which is really cool. The next layer captured is their habitual self-talk, another type of automatic programming that is completely unconscious and, by the way, extremely detrimental, and we're still just peeling back the onion. Now we come to an even deeper layer, the place where all of this started. Oftentimes painful and sometimes even traumatic circumstances are behind this programming and fear. And this was revealed in the visualization as the rule they vowed never to break. That vow always starts in childhood. Now, I could teach a whole weekend on this alone, but to review, we started with a step-by-step process of visualizing marketing themselves and charging their worth. Then we uncovered so many layers of issues that need to be addressed and healed and cleared. And it helped our clients reach this aha moment that actually motivated them to begin working with us. And for you as the coach, it brings a tremendous amount of clarity as you develop this mastery in reading and interpreting these patterns, like you have X-ray vision, or sometimes seem like a mind reader to your clients. You start to feel more confident in how you move into the session work. So I hope you're starting to see the possibilities here. So in this first step, instead of giving away our modality for free and hoping to see results, we use a specialized process. I teach actually dozens of them to systematically uncover the hidden roots of their issues and the cost of those problems so that, one, the client is both wowed and understands how important it is to continue the work, and two, you as the coach have this clarity about what to focus on with the client for many, many sessions. And it's only after this part that we might introduce our approach or modality that specializes in clearing the hidden blocks that we found. So instead of worrying about what to do next, you have total confidence and plenty of options to start moving on to step 2, which is clearing the hidden blocks. And your challenge in step 2 actually becomes where to start, which tools are the best fit, and we're just getting started with this client. So at this point, to figure out where to get started, there's 2 important factors. First, you actually start clearing the one that triggers the most intense emotional reaction from your client. And second, and most importantly, you never just do step 2 in a single session. After you use your modality to clear a block, you must always come back to step 1 because this is what keeps bringing the clarity that will keep your client committed and will keep you clear on what hidden blocks to clear next. Now, from there, you move into the flow of clearing and uncovering and clearing and uncovering, and you might move between step 1 and 2 for many sessions before moving on to steps 3 and 4. As a matter of fact, the coaches I train in the Tapping into Wealth Coach Certification Program find that a lot of work needs to be done here, a lot, before they can move on to step 3 and step 4. So this is where a tremendous amount of healing work happens. You will literally see your clients transform before your eyes. Now, we've talked about phase 1, heal the past, and its 2 steps, uncover and diagnose, and then clear the hidden blocks. Now, let's move on to phase 2, which is create the future. That's step 3, unleash inner power, and step 4, inspire and support. Both of these correspond to what we did in phase 1, uncovering and diagnosing, so we already know exactly what we need to do next. The difference is, this time, we're addressing the positive stuff. In phase 1, we're clearing blocks and issues that were at the root of the negative consequences our clients were facing. In phase 2, we uncover exciting new possibilities that are now within reach for our client once they've fixed what's been holding them back. So in step 3, unleash inner power, we'll use the same diagnosing scripts that we used in the Gift of Clarity exercise, but this time we'll reconnect our client with their most powerful energy to unleash their passion, their enthusiasm, their creativity, and help them see what's possible. Now, we're still uncovering blocks, but instead of the blocks that were creating negative outcomes from the past, this time we focus on the blocks that prevent the future positive things. So finally, in step 4, inspire and support, we guide them as they continue to heal and grow and evolve. We continuously support and inspire and challenge them to make consistent progress towards their goal. Because as they evolve, their goals will also shift and grow. Just like in phase 1, we start with the most significant goal we uncovered, and we keep oscillating between steps 3 and 4 so that our client stays committed to reaching for what they truly desire at each new level of their growth and clarity. Now, any number of modalities and approaches could be used at this point in the process. For example, with step 4, there's lots of goal setting and visualizing approaches that can be integrated. And of course, working with so many clients and students, I've learned to focus only on the most effective modalities. And to be honest, step 3 requires a unique approach. The tools that allow us to really go deeper. And I don't mean that to sound mysterious, but it's a little more involved, and it's only something that I teach inside my program. But I can tell you that I do use a modified version of tapping that integrates seamlessly with world-class teaching from authors like Debbie Ford and Carolyn Mace and Deepak Chopra and Eckhart Tolle. But the important part right now is that you're able to see the bigger picture with no missing steps, no danger zones and pitfalls, and no modality miss. You start with drawing in lots of interesting clients by leading with the urgent, expensive, painful issues of money blocks. Then you use specialized processes to uncover and diagnose the hidden roots and the costs of their issues and translating that into powerful aha moments for the client. Then comes the session work in 4 stages of taking clients on a longer, more powerful journey, not just solving a few problems, but committing to life-changing results that can affect their money mindset, their happiness, their income, and even the lives of the people around them. Just take a second and imagine how many people you can affect. And believe me, you truly can. When you look at that big picture and you see that it's bigger than any one technique, with the right tools and a step-by-step process, it's actually very doable. Remember, I was an engineer. In the last 8 years of my career, I was driving around New England in a Ford Taurus company car, visiting manufacturing plants. Think about it. If I can do it, you can do it. But I do have to issue a warning here. And it's super important, and it's also going to help me answer one of the most common questions that you've been asking me. Here it is. How can I help others and help them fix their issues if I'm not fixed myself? And even more specifically, some of you said, how can I say I help others with their money blocks if I clearly have my own money blocks? Are you ready for the shocking answer? Well, quite simply, you can't. And I know there's a lot of self-help gurus out there who say it doesn't matter, that all you need is this modality and you can help someone else be successful. But I don't want you to stay a wounded healer. That's just wrong, and that's not happening here. This is about transformation in both money and deeper, and it does start with you. And this is why in the previous video, I told you that you should use the tools I shared with you to start building a network of community of like-minded people so that you can practice on each other. You don't need to be fully fixed to be able to help others, but you do need to be a fair length ahead of them on the journey. Otherwise, you simply won't have the altitude and the experience needed to clearly see what you need to uncover during step 1 or how to fix it effectively in step 2. And this is exactly why the very first thing that the students do in my program is learn the process and immediately start practicing the tools on each other inside of the community. This way, they get rid of their own blocks around money and confidence and self-worth much faster. And that not only does it enable you to take paid clients faster and to work with them more effectively, but it also makes it so much easier to make a great income doing it because your money blocks are no longer holding you back. And as an added side effect, you'll feel more grounded, more centered, owning your power, owning your voice, just like your clients will. You know, over my many years of working as a coach with thousands of clients and students, I discovered that there are actually 13 pervasive money blocks that almost always surface, and 6 of them will get cleared during phase 1. Now, I advise you to never go out and try helping people with money blocks if you haven't cleared them for yourself first. And this is why having a supportive community is so critical. And I might be a little biased here, I suppose, but you know, it's not just me. Hundreds of students from my Tapping into Wealth Coach Certification program have told me again and again that our community is absolutely the most supportive, the most effective, and the fastest way to get started to take your practice to a whole new level. So, I should probably warn you that this program is currently closed. However, when you watch the next video, I'm going to tell you how, for a very short period of time, you can become part of our amazing community and get access to my entire process and all my best tools to help you finally fix your money blocks and then use what you've learned to help transform the lives of other people. And because the program is so comprehensive and we're so focused on our supporting our community, we can only accommodate so many new students. So, just in case you don't get into the program, I wanted to give you the top 6 money blocks that you should start focusing on. Number 1, here we go. earning set points. This is a secret inner set point that will keep you stuck at a level of income that only allows you to make ends meet, and you will never truly become wealthy no matter how hard you try. This is what keeps the vast majority of the middle class living paycheck to paycheck, even though they actually earn more than their parents did. Okay, number 2, this is the hidden downsides to wealth. This is a very specific set of conflicting beliefs about wealth and what it means to be wealthy that stems from early programming from family, religion, society, and it will unconsciously prevent you from keeping enough in your savings account and having a solid safety net, never mind actually become wealthy. Okay, the 3rd, silent scream of debt. The middle class carries a tremendous amount of debt, and it becomes an intense source of the most negative emotion you can carry, shame. It will create a secret inner feeling that you are a fraud when it comes to finances and that what you do is never enough. And as you can imagine, this will devastate your ability to enthusiastically accept and manage your money well. 4th is income limiting beliefs. This is a strong programming that subconsciously inside of you insists that making more money is impossible, incredibly difficult, and must involve tremendous sacrifice. This kind of programming stops you from thinking big and taking inspired action and focusing on a plan to change your wealth picture. And it's also the reason that most law of attraction processes don't work for a lot of people. Okay, number 5, this is financial trauma. This is a past event that had a devastating effect on your savings or debt. It's something you've never forgotten about or never forgiven yourself for, and there's often someone else involved. Now, this creates a perpetual energy of self-blame, of anger and loss, and it drains our energy whenever we're dealing with our finances because it's so painful. Now, this cripples our ability to trust and believe in ourselves when it comes to money and setting big goals. And finally, the 6th, the boom and bust cycle of earning and losing. This is a cycle that's rooted in the very specific dynamics with one or both of your parents that causes you to intend to make money throughout your life, but every time you do, you find a way to sabotage it and inevitably cycle back to a place of lack, so progress forward to real wealth is never really made. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about these blocks in more detail as we see how they all fit into the tapping into the wealth process. I developed a dozen specific clarity diagnoses processes to uncover and clear each one of these, including step-by-step formulas using a highly effective approach to tapping to clear out everything that's revealed in this process. This approach is experiential, it's measurable, it's self-evident for your clients, and it's because tapping actually works directly through the nervous system and addresses both the emotions and the fight or flight response in the body. And because of that, it creates a rapid change that clients and students alike can feel and they can see during the sessions and after the session in their everyday life. Now, based on my experience and that of thousands of therapists and clinicians and coaches for over 25 years, the results of tapping are nothing short of miraculous, and this is why it's so effective at keeping clients engaged and continually making progress. But I also found it was just as important to keep bringing clarity and aha moments in every single session as the work progressed. As a matter of fact, I created what I call the map of a powerful session, a step-by-step framework that shows you how to have an effective session with a client every time. This way, the client is always seeing results and progress and gets totally committed to working with you through the entire process. So, while I can't give away all the money blocks, uncovering processes, and powerful tools I teach to my students, I did decide to share my map of a powerful session with you in the next video. So today, we saw the overall flow of the process over multiple sessions. And in the next and final video of this series, we're going to uncover what actually happens inside of those individual sessions. This is going to give you a clear step-by-step guide to conduct every individual session, no matter what stage you're at in the process. And this will allow you to see the whole framework, including how to start the session with a big aha moment for your clients, the different tools and processes you can use to uncover their blocks, and then which ones you'd like to use to clear them. And you'll know exactly where to plug in your modality or your approach, or when to stop for moments of consciousness, and how and when you'd return to the diagnosis. Because as I said, the keys to step 1 and 2 is going back and forth between them. And finally, you'll learn how to shift the energy at the end of a session so your client can really see the results and take the results home with them. And I'm going to cover all of that in the final video. Now, if you really want to learn this entire process with me step by step and get access to absolutely all of the tools I've developed and use, and you want to be supported and guided to ensure you'll be able to quickly use this to build a real solid and profitable practice with real clients, then there are really only 2 ways you can do it. The first one is in my Rockstars on a Mission program. That's my high-end personal coaching program, and people work with me directly there. But the thing is, this is a group for experienced, super high-achieving coaches only, and it's definitely not open right now, and it's not a fit for anyone anyway. And it costs about $12,000 a year, and it's sold out at this time. The second option is my Tapping into Wealth coach training and certification program, which really might be the best solution for you because it's an online program that you can access from anywhere. You can progress at your own pace over the next 8 months. Plus, it's much more affordable. So, as of right now, you actually can't join because enrollment hasn't started yet. But as I said, we're going to be opening a new class and accepting a few new students pretty soon. And actually, we plan on opening up when we release the final video. So I'll tell you all you need to know about this program in the next video. And if you already think that this is for you, then be sure to be here on time when we open. And I'm going to be sending you an email in advance so you don't miss the registration. Because every time we enroll, the slots go really fast. And this is not one of those programs that accepts hundreds and hundreds of students. So check out your emails if you really want to be in. And thank you for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video. And in the meantime, if you have any questions about the training program, I would love to see them. So go ahead and ask them in the comments below this video. And when you'll do, you will get access to download this whole video so you can go through the whole process again. Now, I'm going to leave you with a few of our previous grads, now certified Tapping into Wealth coaches, who share their experiences and the results that they've gotten with real clients and what it's been like for them being inside the program, so you can ask questions and get a feel for how awesome it is. Bye for now.
I love your holistic approach. And I thought, thanks. I love that too. I love having so many tools to offer you. And the centerpiece is the Tapping into Wealth program because it's proven and it's a pathway. But then I add here and there these other things that I've trained in and love. So it's just, it all fits nicely together. So you don't have to walk away from other things that you love. They can blend. I have a healing arts practice. I am a certified Qigong instructor. I teach 4 times a week. I also am a Reiki master teacher. And I now create packages that build all of this in. Because sometimes tapping takes you to a deep, deep, dark, painful place. And we'll have a session that'll wrench your heart. And they do the work and they transform and they're going, ah. And I say, great, now we're going to spend 20 minutes on Reiki. And I'm going to restore you to a sense of calm and balance. And they're like, thank you. And it's lovely to bring that in, to have that to offer to kind of close a really powerful session. And I love Reiki, I love energy work. And to be able to blend them is really fun.
The only way people found out about me was word of mouth. And I didn't have much business. I have another full-time job, so it was more like a hobby, but it was the hobby I was really passionate about. I just could not make myself talk about it. And when I joined the Tapping into Wealth program, There were some processes that were so powerful for me that made me realize, why did I just not talk about this? And one of the big ones was the vow of being invisible. And that was huge for me. And when I cleared that, all of a sudden I had the courage to talk to people again. Or actually, for the first time in my life, I had the courage to talk to people. And now I'm doing talks. And when I do talks, it's just fun. I just love being in front of the room.
The truth is that my vision for my next up level is about 4xing from where I am to where I want to be. And in the past year, that's what I've done, is I went from my starting place, and I have definitely more than 4 times my income. And for this next year, that is what I'm looking towards doing as well, is quadrupling it. And that's often what happens with my clients pretty quickly, is that we see a double and then a triple, and then they're like, oh my God, it's like we've been working together for 6 months, and I look back and it's like, 4 times my income. Well, that's what, and specifically by tapping into wealth and applying it to the field of sales. That has been a huge change, or a mindset shift for me. I started out thinking, I need to just do tapping into wealth to help people get more money, and then looking at what my background was and what I do naturally, and going, I train salespeople. And then taking the tapping into wealth curriculum and going, like, anytime that a salesperson is having trouble closing and having trouble really making money, it's really can be drilled down into the issues that tapping into wealth addresses. So when I started to apply that with my sales team, we started doing that work, and we started seeing the conversion rates go from 17% to 30% to 40% to 50%. It was just a revelation. And so then I said, well, why don't I do this for my entire coaching practice? And I was able to focus in on people who are dependent upon sales, whether they're coaches and entrepreneurs who want to close more sales to build their business, or sales pros who just really want more money in their lives. And we use tapping into wealth, and I see that, and that's why, people's incomes change so quickly, is when you change your close rate from like 10 or 15% to 30%, you just doubled your income. And I really have been able to do that overnight with people. So this shit's for real.
With this training and with the live calls that we get, with the modules that we go through, with the book that we get, with the MIUI forum, with all the other coaches, and with Margaret and her team in there helping us day in, day out, answering our questions live with people that are actually in the trenches doing this, and having different client sessions, and we can go in there and we can ask, hey, I'm having this client session coming up, and they're having this issue, what do you think? What's your take on this? How would you suggest that I approach this? And we get instant feedback, and then we can ask and talk to Margaret live on the calls, and actually go through these and have these kind of case studies, and go through and get advice from one of the top coaches in the world. Margaret is really, she's one of the best coaches, in my opinion, in the world. She's just got such a attention to detail. I think it comes from her engineering background, and yet she's got this amazing skill with people, and she really understands them to her core, and it's from doing coaching with thousands of people, and we get to stand on her shoulders, and as she takes us through this course and this training, we are really equipped. We have the tools that we need in order to make real transformation and real change and get real results with our clients. And it's everything from the processes that we get to take our clients through, from the tapping down to the littlest things. Like Margaret even teaches you how to pause which you wouldn't think that's a big thing, but holding that space for your client and holding that space to give them time to let things sink in and to let them have those aha moments and to allow new things to new insights to come up is a huge thing. And then to actually give that clarity and Margaret calls that, I think, stop, drop, and roll, to give that clarity and then to help them to know what the next steps are. It all works to our favor as coaches. And it's just an amazing bunch of tools. And I love the step-by-step process for not only the training to getting certified, but also what you need to do to actually get out there and start your business, right? To start your taking on clients, how to prospect, how to sign people up with you with your programs and how to structure those things. Like it's actually all in this one program, which I love.
I felt kind of not like a fraud, but sometimes I felt insecure when I was marketing myself or when I was talking to potential clients. This has given me so much more depth and authority as a transformational coach working with entrepreneurs. And I really feel so much more secure when I talk to people that I can actually help them with their money problems.
I was really struggling with my coaching business. As a business coach, I had clients and I was working, but there were a lot of things that I didn't know how to do, how to diagnose. I knew a lot about the psychological piece, that being a psychotherapist for a number of years, and that came easy to me. But when it came to the financial situation and all the programming that people were having and the different struggles, I struggled myself. Personally, and then of course when I work with people, I didn't know exactly what was going on. So that's basically what was going on for me. I was not actually making as much as I wanted to myself. And again, when I met with clients that were struggling financially, I had a lot of ideas, but I didn't know exactly what was going on. So after I started the Tapping into Wealth coaching program, what happened is that it almost like a light bulb went off, and I got so much clarity that I was able to integrate very quickly and communicate that to new clients and old clients alike. So my income skyrocketed, and I started making about 3 and now like 5 times as much as I was prior to TIW, because I think my level of confidence, the level of clarity, the ability to communicate with very clear distinction and diagnose where somebody's at has incredible power. And it almost, TIW put into context and integrated so much of my background with new information that made so much sense. So it really gave me the confidence and the ability to communicate and share with people not only where they're at, but how they can transform to be where they want to be. And actually, I'm almost my own testimony, the best and the first to be able to really accomplish that.
Before I joined the Tapping into Wealth coach training, I wasn't even coaching. So I was certified as an EFT practitioner, certified in NLP. I was a certified life coach, yet I was still working my job and had no clear plan of how to get out of there. So no clear plan of the steps that I needed to take in order to actually start taking on clients and actually start moving towards that transition to going into coaching full time. So I had the training, I was one of those repeat people that just gets more education. I'm not ready. If I just take this one more course, if I just do this one more thing, then I'll be ready. And one of the things that was really missing from my other training, it was almost like I didn't have a real roadmap with my clients. I didn't have any real place to take them. Like it was kind of like, they would come to me and they would have a problem for that day, and then, okay, let's work on that problem for that day. I didn't have a real clear path to take them on. But with this training, it's a real process, right? It's a real journey that it maps it out. This is where you start, then you take them here, and then you take them there. There's a lot of freedom and flexibility in that, but the processes that Margaret's developed are just incredible, and it's given me a lot of confidence of I can actually take someone that maybe doesn't even know what they need to work on, and I can discover that, and I can take them down a clear journey from point A to point B, and they're going to have tremendous transformation from that. So it's given a framework for how to actually do client coaching, and then it's given me a framework for exactly the steps that I need to take in order to get out there and to start doing this as a coaching business. So it's excellent.
Money is such a big issue. And so when you have someone who is an entrepreneur, and even though I knew I could help them because I love tapping and I love coaching, it's kind of scary telling someone that I can actually change your life around if you work with me. And having the tapping into wealth, like knowing the material really helps me, knowing that whatever comes up, I can handle the stuff that comes up. So there's no doubt in my mind that whatever they say, whatever they're going through, I will always have the resources to actually help them. So I think that the confidence that the tapping into wealth has given me it's like I say that I can help them with such confidence that people never question it anymore. Whereas before I was like, oh, I would love to help you with that. And it's not that convincing. But now I can really say it so convincingly that people just, they really trust me because I trust me. And it sort of comes through when I talk.
Before and after who I was before TIW and working with Margaret versus now is like sometimes I don't even recognize myself. And my own mother had actually told me that she can see not only how successful I am and that it's well deserved, but in addition how much I have changed my image, the level of success that I have, and how much I own it. So it's not only an external thing, but I feel 100% congruent with who I am. I have identified what is my mission in this world. I am in touch with my soul calling, and I'm actually doing it, which feels incredible. And it's also visible. I mean, I feel successful. I've been invited to participate and become president of different organizations, women business owners organizations, BNI that many people may know, Business Networking International, and the level of internal connection and congruency that I have is visible. I can see it myself. People around me notice it. I feel empowered. I feel thrilled, and I feel really happy to do what I'm doing. And I do give, I would say, 100% credit to Margaret and TIW. It's been completely transformed me and my life, and I'm really thrilled.
It's fun. It's fun being a tapping into wealth coach. And even though, the work that we do is not always fun, it's really deep because the money issues, they're never about the money. So you do really deep work. But then still it's fun because it's something that both the client and me can see that this will take them much, much further than she could ever imagine before she started doing the work. So I really enjoy doing the tapping into wealth work.
Right? You don't have to get up in the morning and go to work and be there by 8, 9 o'clock. No one's telling you when you have to take your lunch. You're not having to work late or bring work home on the weekend. You really get to dictate your own hours. And with this course, with the Tapping into Wealth program, Margaret really lays out exactly what you need to do as far as how to price your coaching, how to set up a coaching program, and how to have a signature program and packages so that you're really setting yourself up to have clients and to have sessions coming in so that you have this kind of set income and these set times that you're coaching with clients, and it really does open up that space, right? It really does give you that kind of power over your life to be able to start to say, you know what, I'm going to take Friday off and I'm going to spend that with my kids, or I'm going to work maybe and have a couple more clients this week, and I'm going to go on vacation with my family, and I'm going to plan that, and it's just going to be spontaneous. And that's something that being in this program, you get that kind of training of how to price things, how to prospect, how to fill your kind of your schedule with clients, and really gives you that kind of freedom to really organize your life and organize your business how it suits you, which is amazing. So it's not only about transforming clients and transforming our clients' lives, but it really is a lifestyle. You know, it really is a huge blessing for us as coaches to be able to step into that kind of life and to really create and design it how we want it to be.
Before tapping into wealth coaching, I was working at a clinic. So I was working with fabulous people, but I was really restricted in what my schedule was. I had some flexibility because I was as a consultant working there and a supervisor. But now it's like I make my own schedule. I create my own business. And in addition to that, I'm traveling. I'm a little travel bag, and I love going places. And it's fabulous that I can actually travel and do business at the same time. So not only I'm actually doing what I love, which is getting to see new places, meeting new people from different cultures, and it's just incredible, the experience. So I'm really fulfilling my dream of having the independence that I want, being able to travel when I want to, creating a schedule that allows me to work with people all over the world because I work online and on phone or online when it's international, and to just go see and present at different conferences. I love it. I just love living, I live in nature because I'm surrounded by trees, and yet I can go to cities and present, and I can go to different countries, and it's just incredibly fulfilling. It's just very, very satisfying. I love what I do.
One of the things that I was not expecting to get from this course that has been such a blessing for me is actually how I feel about myself. I've never really felt like I was the one to be in the spotlight, like I was the one to be in charge. So taking on coaching as a profession for me was something that was a challenge for me. I had such a heart for it. It was something that was so deeply inside of me that I wanted to do, but I didn't know that I could be that person in charge. Everyone's looking to me for their life, right? For major decisions in their life. Obviously, I'm guiding them through that, but how I guide them and how I lead them and how I coach them has a real significant impact on the direction that they're going to take in their life. And that's a big responsibility. And for me going into this program before, I didn't always see myself as that person of authority. I didn't always see myself as the one that should be, the leader, the one in charge, the one guiding other people, which is kind of funny because I was going in to be coaching, but this is a paradigm that I had. Growing up, I was the one that was the peacekeeper. I was amicable. I did what others wanted me to do to kind of keep the peace and not rock the boat. And so it's a paradigm that I've had to face within myself. And the amazing thing is we know the material so well, like between going through the program and reading the book and working with clients and doing our case studies and being in the forum and the live calls, we know it so well that confidence is just sky high. Like when I'm in my very first coaching session, I felt like an absolute pro. Like I knew exactly what they were thinking and what they were feeling. Even after the very first session, they're like, the client was completely blown away because I was bringing a world-class level of coaching, and it was from my very first session. And it's because we're prepared so well for it, and we know the material so well, and Margaret has provided it to us in a way where these processes are just they hit it right, the nail on the head. It's just so specific and so impactful that that we get to be at that world-class level kind of right away. Obviously this is a learning program. The more that you do it, the more masterful you get. But you can go out right away and start having real impact and real results with clients. And that's been huge for me. Like my certainty in my belief level that I can actually do this, it's 100%. And before I was, I don't know, maybe 30%, it was something that I wanted, but I didn't own it. It wasn't something that I knew for sure. And going through this, and especially the results that I get with the clients and the impact that I have on them, it really drives home the fact that I am a coach. I am a coach, and I am in a position that I can make real change with them. So it's been fabulous.
Becoming a TIW coach has completely fulfilled my mission, and I feel really that I'm fulfilling my soul calling. But in addition is that I am seeing the ripple effect, because I first of all, I work one-on-one with people, but I work with groups, and I see how those people are really transforming themselves, their work environments, their lives are transforming, and how that keeps on expanding. The same with the group programs, as well as, live conferences that I go to, and I see people year after year, and they tell me, it's like, this has completely changed my life. Not only that, people that actually started working with me that actually have become TIW coaches, expanding their reach and their business. And it feels incredibly transformative for me, the people that I work with, and it keeps on expanding. I think that there's a level of connection that people get, and the level of empowerment they feel, that completely transforms who they are, their life, their ability not only to earn, but to really be successful in so many areas. I strongly believe that, financial freedom and abundance is absolutely fabulous. And yet, if we are congruent with what we do and we feel really fulfilled, that translates into better relationships, better work environments, happier employees when people have them. And just overall, it's like an expansive wave of positive energy that is just transforming the planet, So I think that it's one at a time. I feel like I am like a drop in a lake, and just the ripple effect keeps on expanding. And I feel thrilled to be able to do these.
Before, when I gave an offer, people it's like they can feel how I feel. And because my mindset was different when it came to money, they would feel that. But now when I offer the packages, I often get the comment, "Oh, that's not expensive," or "That's reasonable," even though my prices are higher these days.
So as a coach, you're working with a client, and you're working with them, a lot of times you're working with them one-on-one, and sometimes it's in groups, sometimes it's on the phone, but a lot of times it's one-on-one that you're working with a client. And sometimes, you can think, oh, how much impact am I really having by just working with this one person? But when you come, when you think about it, that one, and I think about this sometimes, I'm driving down the highway and I see all these different cars, and I'm thinking every single person in all of these different cars, or if you're in a mall, all the different people walking, every single person in there has a story. Every single person in there has people that love them. Every single person has this whole world that they live in themselves, right? That this whole world of people that they're connected to, people that they work with, people that, they go to church with or go to sporting events with, their kids, their extended family, they have all these different microorganisms of all these different connections that happen. And when you impact the life of one person, it has this ripple effect. It actually goes out, and I love this. This is how we can impact the world for good. This is how we can bring about massive changes in our neighborhoods, in our communities, in our countries, and the world. I know it sounds very grandiose, but it's really true. It's really true, because when you impact that person, the people that they live with are going to be directly impacted. If they're showing up with confidence, if they're showing up in a more loving way, and if they're managing their money and not staying in those stuck paradigms, that opens up a world of possibilities for them. If when money is one of the biggest things that we have to handle in life. It's not taught in school. A lot of times our parents give us a very poor example of it, not from, on purpose, but it's just they're passing on their paradigms to us and we're learning them. And it's a very toxic and destructive paradigm a lot of times. And when you can heal that person and when you can bring transformation with that person that you're coaching, they teach it to their kids. They teach it to their husband. They have more resources for their family, and they're able to give their family more pleasure, more joy, more time. They're not as stressed. They're possibly not getting as sick. They're being able to go to better schools. They're being able to be exposed to the world and have a better understanding of different cultures and more compassion. And then that expands out. Maybe they're able to give philanthropy more, or be able to volunteer more, or be able to step in and start another business and be able to employ other people. Like, it goes on and on and on. And I love it. And it's an area that, people don't always like to talk about, but it's, one of the biggest reasons that people get divorces. It's one of the biggest stresses. Most of people, at least in North America, live check to check. And it is such a huge epidemic that is not being talked about. And we just come at it in such a complete and wholesome way that is so effective, and it really gives the power back to the person. We're not taking it from them. We're not demanding that they do anything. We're giving the power back to them to be in charge of their own life and to heal this area of their life, and to allow that to be a blessing to themselves and to others. And it's just very powerful.
There's something that I would like to share with everybody, actually, and is that Margaret is not only teaching how to be a coach and tapping into wealth coach, but also how to get congruent with yourself, how to find out what your mission, as she calls it, I call it my soul calling, is. And for each person, I find that when we actually are in touch with that, we are fabulous at it. And I was actually completely in hiding, believe it or not. And it was a matter of expanding and really opening up possibilities that I had no idea were even available to me. So tapping into wealth has allowed me to transform myself into my better self, working a lot on the things that I needed to address in order to become the person I really wanted to be, which was part of my life's goal, but also be extremely congruent with what I do and helping the people that are really ready and are really needing this level of transformation. So it's such an amazing process and a wonderful experience to have, to be able to get in touch with who we are, as a person, and expand that so you can contribute to the world in a completely different way that is very unique to each human being. And it is my desire and my goal that everybody finds that. Tapping into wealth, it's an amazing tool to allow you to get in touch with that, because Margaret has an incredible skill in really pointing to what is it that each person has as a special talent and gifts. And she certainly has done it with me. So I'm very grateful and extremely privileged to have met her and for her to have crossed my life.